Please be advised that the views and opinions of the host and guests do not reflect those of the station, the management, and its network.
Magandang umaga, magandang araw, magandang gabi sa ating mga taga-subaybay at audience, saan man kayo sa parte ng mundo. Ngayon ay July 9 and another edition po ng ating Opinyon ngayon. So sa araw na to, dalawa yung segment natin. The first segment will be an interview with our very own host, Herman Laurel, kasi siya po ay isa sa ating mga awardees. Award for Promotion for Philippine-China Understanding. For several episodes po ng ating opinion ngayon, marami na rin po tayong, at sa ibang program po natin, ay marami na po tayong na-interview ng mga awardees. Isa nga po doon ay si Dr. Lourdes Tanhueco Nepomuceno. Siya po ay isang direktor ng Institute, Confucius Institute at UP Diliman. Pero before that, I would like to present to you and to share with you na ang awards for promoting Philippine-China Understanding, isa sa mga awardees natin po ay si Madam Imelda Marcos and 9 others. And another thing as well is one of our co-hosts here in our opinion ngayon is also an awardee, si Kaado Paglinawan. So, meron kaming short video clip ng interview namin with Professor Nepomuceno, and papalabas po natin yan para lang makita ninyo na kung ano yung mga pinag-usapan at anong kahalagahan po ng award at ano yung kanyang mga ginagawa bilang isang direktor ng Confucius Institute at UP Diliman.
Ma'am, I have a question because this is much more on your work, no? You are instrumental in the inclusion of Mandarin language in the K-12 curriculum of the Department of Education as a special program in foreign language. My question is, why is it important for young people or young students to learn Mandarin po? And what do you think is the advantage, or what will be the advantage for Filipinos, especially the younger ones, that they know the language? And that's why you put it into the K-12 curriculum po.
Yes. Any language opens new vistas, not only economically, not only for economics, but all aspects of daily life. Maybe many Filipinos are unaware that many of our dishes come from China, Chinese food, and we deal with the food vendors, and some of our words are also Spanish in nature, no? So actually we Filipinos have different because we were colonized by Spain, by the US, so all these languages come into play. And learning Mandarin naman is not only on the economic side, it opens new opportunities for students. And they were interviewed during their course there, and after our trip, 2 of them were hired.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
They attended the experiential learning in Xiamen. And because of their learning exposure, they were able to, get a job in one in Shenzhen and one in Xiamen. So
Wow.
they open different aspects in life, not only economics, but other opportunities abound, no, for them.
Po ang short video clip po natin ng interview natin with Dr. Nepomuceno, isa sa mga awardees, ng Awards for Promoting Philippine-China Understanding, and again, she is the Confucius Institute Director ng UP Diliman. So right now naman po, bigyan po natin ng daan ang ating interview with our very own host ng Opinion ngayon, si Herman Laurel, Chu Laurel. Siya po ay napabilang sa mga awardee sa outstanding category. So, Herman, ang tanong ko po sa iyo, how does it feel to be part of the awards, no, for promoting Philippine-China understanding and being also part of the first batch. And this is an international award to a certain extent because it's from 2 countries. And at the same time po, I think this is first ever in the Philippines and first ever in Asia. So how does it feel po?
Well, first of all, I'd like to express my appreciation for the establishment of the award. Kasi napapanahon na mabigyan ng pakilala yung mga tumutulong sa pagtutulay ng pagkakaunawaan ng China at Pilipinas, which has been there for 1,000 years at least. 1,000 taon nang nakaraan na talagang magkaibigan, hindi lang magkaibigan, magkapatid ang China at ang Pilipinas. You go through our history, Raja killing of the Kingdom of Butuan 1,000 years ago, may mga trade missions sa China, followed by yung tanyag na si Sultan Paduka Batara, or Pahala Batara, interchangeable yung second part, which is an honorific, I think. And so libong taon na po yung ating ugnayan, pero there was a short period this past 10 years na nagkaroon ng alitan for geopolitical reasons, and tayo naman na mga nakakaunawa ng kasaysayan at mga tumutulong sa pagtutulay ng dalawang kulturang ito, tulad nung iyong pinakita na interview with Dr. Lourdes Tanhueco Nepomuceno, ginagampanan niya yung kanyang gawain bilang isang guro, dito sa pagtuturo ng Mandarin, na malaking tulong para sa mga mamamayan natin, hindi lang sa kultura kundi sa ekonomiya, sa trabaho. Tulad doon sa interview na yun, na nandoon ka rin nakatuloy, sabi mo nga, sa turismo lang mismo, yung turismo natin, 1.8 million Chinese tourists tayo, yung mga Pilipino na matuto ng Mandarin, silang magiging tourist guide for this. In Thailand, they have 12 million in 2019 Chinese tourists. We should be preparing for ganyan din po, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 million tourists from China in the coming years. Ako naman, ang aking gawain bilang isang journalist ay yung pagtataguyod ng katotohanan. And dito sa panahon na very critical sa global geopolitics, at sa kasamang relasyon ng Pilipinas at ng China dito sa global geopolitics, napakahalaga po ng katotohanan, na merong mga elemento sa mundo natin na nais baluktutin ang katotohanan para sa pabor nila, tulad ng Estados Unidos, at mabulag ang mga Pilipino. Kaya pinang-aaway tayo sa iba't ibang mga kalaban ng Estados Unidos na hindi naman talaga nating kalaban. So that has been my role. In fact, so I'm very happy that this role that I am performing has been recognized as one of the efforts to bridge the two nations, the understanding. And I can go back to history, dahil nga talagang uminit ang ating relasyon sa China dahil nga doon sa misunderstanding tungkol sa territorial boundaries natin. And I can remember in 1999, ang ambassador ng China noon, si Ambassador Fu Ying, was explaining that all China was doing was following all the historical boundaries, And yun, hinanda ko nga isang mapa na maiintindihan po ng publiko what I mean. Ito po yung mapa. Makikita po ninyo. Ang ginawa ni Ambassador Fu Ying in 1991 sa Sulu Hotel Media Forum, na nagkasama-samang mga journalists and so on, and pinesenta ni Ambassador Fu Ying yung kanyang biniling mapa ng Pilipinas, official map of the Philippines, na kanyang binili sa National Bookstore, na sa baba may nakalagay na Philippine Geodetic Survey and so on and so forth. So official map po, na ang minamarka yung makikita po yung parang rectangle. Because that is the territorial limits defined by the Treaty of Paris, ng Amerika, Espanya, na Spain was representing the Philippines. So in all legal documents at that time, up to that time, yan po ang mapa ng Pilipinas. So Ambassador Fu Ying was presenting that, and I reportedly in my column explaining it accurately what her message was. No? But even at that time, meron ng mga nagmi-misrepresent tulad nung the late Roy Lagones na sinasabi, very unfriendly itong si Ambassador Fu Ying for misrepresenting daw. Well, that's actually the map of the Philippines at that time. If you look at that map again, let's take a look at it. Look at it again, yung map. Meron ng ibang mga guhit, hindi yung rectangle lang, kundi yung medyo expanded. That was the PD, Presidential Decree of Marcos na, and so on. So nagkaroon na ng pagbabago over time, pero wala pa rin tayong talagang batas.
Wala.
On our baseline,
Walang
Presidential
baseline
Decree
lang.
lang. So yan ang totoong sa storya dito sa likod ng territorial disputes natin. And Ambassador Fu Ying is here in our image here with President Duterte, President Estrada.
I think this is your article, no?
Yeah, part of the article. Doon sa baba po yung article ko, na yung sa taas po, yung letter ni Ambassador Fu Ying, nagpapasalamat sa accurate reportage ko. Yun lang naman. Doon sa baba naman, doon ko pinapaliwanag yung reaksyon ni the late Roy Lagones na sabi, very unfriendly ang China and so on and so forth. Well, of course, we must remember that Ambassador Roy Lagones is a graduate of, I think, Annapolis Naval Academy sa US. So medyo may killing siya sa US talaga. Well, we are trying to overcome that. And today, I think we have succeeded there. So I have continued writing the accurate information. And through the period na nag-file ng arbitration case, nung ko pa pinapaliwanag, 2012, 2013, 2014, we have to take this calmly and coolly. Wag po tayong sindi ng emosyon. And I'm glad by this year, I think it's very clear already, that everybody, even those anti-China political forces like sila Carpio and so on, are beginning to be shown to be ready for a deal with China. Yun lang gusto nila, yung deal nila.
Sila ang magbe-benefit.
Silang yung mga kakampi nila, tulad nitong yung corporate interest, yung Salim Group and so on. Pero sa gitna nitong lahat na to, ang interest ko lang lagi is to serve the nation with the truth. And mabuti naman the APCU and the Chinese embassy had the courage to say, no, what is right, and let us give recognition to those who stood down for the truth and what is right, and for friendliness between two nations and all nations. Because ultimately, we are at a stage na tayong lahat isang komunidad ng sa mundong ito, isang komunidad na. And we cannot afford to have fights anymore, lalo na nuclear age ngayon. So in short, that's my reaction.
Actually, kaya rin po, from what I can see, I think you were chosen as one of the awardees kasi nga po, dahil sa larangan ng journalism. Kasi yung award, binibigyan ng parangal sa iba't ibang larangan. Like may medisina, may sa international law, may journalism. I think kayo ni Kaado is because of what you've been doing in terms of using your own profession to share and to promote the understanding, friendship, and good bilateral relation of the two countries, the China and the Philippines. Now, my second question to you is, how long have you been doing this? Like, it's not anymore, I think, a profession for you. It becomes like a passion, and it becomes like part of your advocacy already. For how long have you been working on this issue and on this advocacy? And then, ano po yung pakiramdam na after for the longest time? Kasi ang mga awardees po natin, hindi lang sila ina-award for a certain period, but for the longest time na ginagawa nila ito. Nandun yung length of time. So, ano po yung hanggang from when and until now?
Yeah, the intensity of the advocacy really started in 2012, kasi that was the time, 2011, Obama announced the pivot to Asia. maraming kailangan mapaliwanagan kung anong kahulugan ng pivot to Asia. That means the Americans were going to move 60% of their military forces to Asia. Anong dahilan po doon? Except, if not, to confront China.
Yeah.
So, ganyan din ang reaction ng China. Kaya 2012, nagsimula sila ng reclamation ng mga features na maging islands na kanilang malalagyan ng dual purpose
For defense.
operations, no? Like civilian, may turismo, pero pwede ding base militar to protect the South China Sea and their transit there. We had to explain this, no? Na hindi lang purely against the other claimants dito sa South China Sea, lalo na hindi against the Philippines, but really a protection from the what is in history recorded, Western imperialism, taking offensives against Asian countries, including China. And China experienced a century of humiliation because of the occupation of certain parts of China by Western powers, including the United States of America. No? So doon talaga naging mainit, and over those years, maraming reaction na both those that are malicious and those that are naive and innocent na hindi nila alam yung ginagawa nila kasi nga yung ating media kontrolado pa ng malaking bahagi ng Amerikano, or their influences, And dadanas po tayo ng mga batikos at yung mga pagmumura, and including yung umuwi ka sa China, which I always try to explain. We're all part of mainland Asia. We all come from mainland Asia. At yung lagi kong pinapaliwanag na lahat ng mga denizens or people of Southeast Asia, yung Indo-Malay and so on, the most respected theory is the out of Taiwan theory, that we all came through Taiwan from South China, South Indochina, if you will allow the word in Indochina. And so yan ang objective, historical, anthropological fact. Pero because of our many centuries under the Spaniards and under the 1 century under the Americans, akala natin basta't sumulpot na lang tayo dito sa Pilipinas. No. You go to the anthropological roots, you will find out that we came from mainland Asia, and the closest are Taiwan and so on. Closest to Taiwan is South China. Pingtan, there's a place there, Pingtan na tawag, na may archaeological basis. So, I don't know if that completes an answer to your question.
Yeah, so it means like from 2012, you've been there on the forefront, trying to promote understanding, clarifying issues through your different programs in TV, I think, and writing in different.
Yeah, and in fact, all my programs are dedicated to this mission. And which I feel by now, 2020, and with the help of President Duterte starting 2016, ang laki pong nagbago na.
Oo, and I think you're gaining ground.
I think also the Chinese embassy and the Chinese government has made a lot of efforts to be positive, and to be constructive, and talagang ipinakita ng China yung kanilang pagkakapatid, lalo na dito sa pandemic, yung tulong ng first few months ng libo-libong ventilators, daan-libong mga PPEs, and so on. Hanggang ngayon, pinakamalaking donor and nagdi-deliver po ng purchased vaccines, na abot na ng 12 million, and by the end of July, I think it will be mga 17 million na.
Pero before I go to the second to the last question, nababash din po kayo, no? Napapag-anuhan kayo na parang pro-China,
That's
or
right.
Chinese kayo na ganyan. So, paano nyo yung kinu-confront?
Well, yun na nga, yung isang paliwanag ko ng anthropological basis, kasi scientific yun, objective po yun, at maituturo natin yung anthropological studies dyan. Usually, tatahimik na yung mga nangangantyaw.
Hindi naman kayo na-offend.
Hindi na. Sanay na tayo, and actually, ako'y nakulong nung ako'y aktivista, nung panahon ni Marcos, And my father said, gusto mo mag-aktivista? Ibalik kita sa China, But sabi ko, anywhere I am in the world, I will be serving humanity. And so I might as well do it here in the Philippines, Na kailangan ng tulong ng mga mamamayan, lalo na yung maswerte tayo, nagkaroon tayo ng pamilya na may kaya, and we have to return this and
Serve back.
serve the society, but of course serve humanity.
So, my second to the last question po is, why do you think it's so important for us, like for you and for other people as well, to promote the Philippines, China understanding, or Filipinos and Chinese people-to-people ties?
Well, of course, first of all, it's just healing a small wound.
Yes.
Pagagalingin po lang natin dahil nga dito sa past 10 years, no? Because we have been together for 1,000 years. And China today is the economic engine of the world.
Yes.
Even the West is relying on China's economic recovery to lift its own pandemic and financial crisis-stricken economies, and financial system. So, importante po sa kapakanan at kinabukasan ng Pilipinas at ng mga Pilipino ang ating relasyon sa China. And in fact, kung sasabihin natin, mayroon ng kompetisyon din tayo doon sa mga ibang kalapit bansa natin, Thailand, nangunguna sa atin, Indonesia, and so on. May competition din tayo, although we're brothers in ASEAN. And so in this relationship with China, we have to be better than the others sana. Pero actually, kulela tayo na past 10 years. We want to improve it. I think we're running out of time. I'm being signaled. But anyway, what's your last question?
The last question is, what's your message on the closing? Message to our audience, and especially on this issue.
Well,
and congratulations.
Thank you. And unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako sa mamayang Pilipino, sa kanilang patuloy na pagbubukas, dito sa mundo, hindi lang sa China kundi sa buong mundo, and sa tulong ni Presidente Duterte na finally talaga naging international and independent po. Lagi kong sinasabi, the Filipino is a cosmopolitan nation. Dapat yan palakasin natin yung pagka-cosmopolitan natin, pagka-universal, ika nga. And we have a very vital contribution to make. Tayo ang go or break or go or no go ng global peace. Kung tayo ay pumanig doon sa nagnanais ng giyera at naghahanap buhay sa giyera, magkakagulo ang mundo. Pero kung tayo ay tumulong sa pagpipigil ng anumang plano ng ilang mga elemento para sa giyera, para sa kapakinabangan, the profit of some defense corporations, tayo din ang makakapagbukas ng ika nga Pandora's box. And so, I think the Filipino nation should be for peace and prosperity, and we can do it with President Duterte and the other leaders who also see it this way.
Okay, thank you so much ka Herman, ka Mentong. At iyan po ang ating panayam sa ating host na part po siya or kasama po siya ng awards, ng mga awardees for the awards for promoting Philippine-China understanding po. So this is the first segment. Stand by for the next segment po. Maraming salamat.
So,